Hey guys, this is Derek with Automatic Door and Hardware. Today we are going to talk about just basic anatomy of automatic doors, automatic sliding doors that is. Right here in front of me I have a header, and this is going to be what is above the doors, and it's usually about 6 to 8 inches tall, sometimes taller, and it houses all the components that make those sliding doors slide automatically. So I'm just going to kind of go through some things here with you. So this is going to be the header cover, and this is what hinges open and gives you access to all the components. Right here you can see we have our this is our motor. It's attached to the gearbox, and so this assembly we always call the motor gearbox. Back here is the encoder. This is what counts the revolutions that the motor turns and relays that information to the control unit. So we'll move down here. Here is the control unit. A lot of these sliding doors will have a LCD display. Some of the older ones will not. They'll still be analog. And that is where you input all your settings, and it can control that motor to motor speed, motor power, etc. So moving on, you can see we have the belt here. This is the belt, and this is going to attach to your active moving panels, and that is what moves. Well, I guess technically it attaches to the carriage. So you'll see I have this belt bracket here. The other one's not on, but these are what transfer the motor's power to the actual carriage, which holds the automatic sliding door. So these are called belt brackets. If you move on down here, we can look up here. You can see here we have a magnetic breakout switch. So when in America, sliding doors are required to break out for emergency. So those will tell the door when the door is broken out, and it will cease it from operating. So it will shut down. Keep moving down here. On this end we have the return pulley here. It's non-motorized, it's adjustable so that you can adjust the belt tension, and then we got a door stop up here. So now I'm going to walk you over here to the sliding door itself, and we'll go take a look at the anatomy there. So now we're looking at the sliding door panel. This is called an active panel. Now this panel actually slides when the door is operating. So this is one of the sliding door panels. You can tell because it has a lock cylinder here. It's got a mortise lock. This is they use hook bolt locks. And so I'll kind of go through some of the main things. So these are glass stops. They're meant to snap in and hold the glass in place. These fall out a lot of times when the door gets hit or something. So they do get replaced fairly often. On the leading edge here, we have the weather stripping. Goes down either side. Up top here, we have, this is called the carriage. So the carriage is actually what slides on inside that header, and then it transfers the sliding motion to the door. Now, like I said earlier, all doors in the US are required to break away in emergency, these commercial sliding doors. So the carriage is necessary because this is supposed to break away in emergency. So you can see there's the swinging mechanism. So here, over on this side, you see we have this is a ball catch receiver, and that's what holds it in place. You can see here's the ball catch here. Or I guess, sorry, the ball catch is here, the receiver is here. Up here you can see this is the PSA arm. This is the pivoting arm. It's a steel block which allows the arm to pivot. I can snap this back in. Now this door isn't assembled, But right here you can see there's a couple holes here for door rollers, and then over here are slots for anti-risers, which basically allow the door to not be able to be just lifted off or derail. So those hold it secure in the track. On the bottom here, let's rotate it around. We have our bottom guide, and this is what it's locked. It's locked in there right now from sitting down. But this is what actually holds the door bottom in the track and allows it to slide back and forth without flopping in the breeze. So another couple important things that might matter to you, especially if you're ordering an automatic door, is style. So, and when I say style, I mean S-T-I-L-E. And the style is going to be the measurement of this thickness right here. So this is called considered a narrow style door. It has 2 1/8 inch rails here. There are medium style doors, and there's also wide style doors. We do medium style doors. This measurement here on a medium style would be 3.5 inches. And then on a wide style door, it would be 5 inches. But we do not carry those. Other thing is this right here, this crossbar in the center. This is called a mutton, or you can call it a crossbar. We can make the doors with or without these. It does, structurally it's better to have them. It's also cheaper for glass having these, but some people do prefer the look of just a single piece of glass in the center, so that's also an option for you. Here is the top rail of the door, and again, yeah, the top rail does not break out. The top rail is part of the door's construction. This is the carriage, which is what actually breaks out, and then down here is the bottom rail on the door, and this is an ADA bottom rail. It's 10 inches tall. On the on standard doors, we do have a I think it's a 4.5 inch rail if you wanted to have more glass. These taller bottom rails are nice for like carts, because then it's not going to shatter the glass, it's not going to hit the glass. It's nice for wheelchairs with the foot pedals. Your door should most likely be open before either of those get near it, but it's just a good safety precaution to have, and certain jurisdictions do require it. So that is the ADA 10-inch bottom rail. And like I said, if you had the smaller, shorter bottom rail, you can look at this door, for example. It would look more like that on the bottom. So now that was the active leaf. So let's go to the fixed panel here. So I'm going to go set this one aside. Here is a fixed panel door. Now, this door does not slide, but this does pivot. This is a full breakout door, so it does have it does pivot away. There is no actual mechanism on, the pivoting mechanism is all on the header and on the threshold. There is a receiver built into the heel side on this, so this is going to be your heel side. So the double weather stripping side is meant to seal up against your jamb on the side light, and then the leading edge right here is going to have just this portion of weather stripping, and this is meant to seal against the active panel. Now the active panel will ride right here up against this, and this seal will help keep it, the door sealed when it comes fully shut. So it'll seal against that other vertical style nicely. On this is a full breakout package, so even the side light panels do break out. So let me rotate this down here. There is a ball catch down here, which is meant to secure it in the frame when into the frame when it is not broken out. Here is the magnetic switch, the breakout switch. So this makes contact with the breakout switch on the header, and that gives tells the door is shut, we can operate. And then again, once this breaks away and swings out, it's going to lose contact and tell the door to stop moving. Here we go. This is also a limit arm assembly. So on our full breakout packages, they have a limit arm up here, and that is meant to allow the door to swing open to 90 degrees, but then hit a cushion. Some manufacturers do not include that, but it's a nice feature to have, because if the wind catches door panels, especially when they get broken away, or if you have your building extends past the door or something of that nature, it will stop and prevent it from swinging out further than it needs to. On the bottom here of this, there is going to be a receiver right here for the pivot, and this is what allows it to pivot. This is going to be on the jam side, and it will rest right on a little pivot there, and that's what the door pivots on when it is broken away in emergency. So that is the anatomy. The side lights are going to be the same. They're just handed, so they're going to be opposite hands. Same components on them. Only difference in the active panels for a bipart door, which is going to be a 4-panel door where 2 active panels move, is that the other active panel does not have a lock cylinder. It has a cutout here to accept that lock. So you can see that there's a cutout. So there is the anatomy of a sliding door. I guess there's one thing I didn't mention because we don't have them on this right now, but they are called interlocks. They usually bolt up here, and on the active panels as well. And what they are they're like little J hooks that bolt up, and they kind of sit here like that. And when the doors come fully shut, they lock into each other like that. And that prevents the door when you're locked up for the evening and the door is off. It prevents the door from being broken out, so people can get inside the building. So that holds everything in the locked position and keeps that door secure. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I hope this information helps. Thank you.